Imagine a future designed by the 1980s, where every hallway is a death trap and your most powerful weapon is a glorified remote control. This lunar base is falling apart, and you're the only one left to piece it together. A puzzle that might be better left unsolved. Stick around and learn more about what you can expect from the mechanics, or you can skip ahead to my final thoughts and ratings. Your journey begins in the confined quarters of a lunar base, where a small terminal greets you. As an engineer, your initial goal is to repair faulty equipment, but you must first prove you're fit for the job. The station requires you to perform a series of physical stretches before you can even print your ID card and begin your mission. Once you step into the main facility, the atmosphere shifts instantly as loud noises and flashing lights push you toward a small classroom. Here, you receive training on the C.A.T, a multi-purpose tool that serves as your lifeline as you navigate the cold, metallic halls of this deteriorating station. The Cosmonaut Assistance Tool is your primary way to interact with the world, and you will find it indispensable. At first, you'll use it to interface with terminals to save your progress, or restart faulty doors. But its utility grows as you discover mods, such as a black light to reveal hidden codes on the walls, or a security module to bypass locked doors. When the local inhabitants get too close, the tool also acts as a deterrent. Every action consumes battery power, and while you can find replacements scattered around the base, you can't carry a stockpile. You simply swap in a fresh cell automatically whenever you pick one up. Your life on the moon is divided into chapters and sectors, each requiring you to study specific tasks at save points to find your way. Most of your objectives are tucked away behind complex puzzles, requiring you to hunt for key items or secret codes. You have to be incredibly observant because the items you need do not glow or stand out from the environment. You must look directly at an object to see if it can be grabbed. This makes every note, diary entry, and discarded scrap of paper vital. If you aren't reading the world around you, you're gonna find yourself wandering in circles. The challenge of progression is heightened by the fact that door and computer codes are randomized for every playthrough. You can't simply look up a guide to skip the work. You have to find the clues hidden in your specific game state. Some puzzles are intense and force you to sift through a mountain of data before you find the one sequence that matters. While some of the logic leaps are incredibly complicated, a few can be bypassed through brute force if you're patient enough. Exploring this lunar facility is a nerve-wracking experience, with constant danger around every corner. You must contend with a malfunctioning security system and grotesque creatures that stalk the corridors, so you're always glancing over your shoulder. Every minor sound becomes a reason to stop and listen. While your cat can fend off enemies for a moment, it's never a permanent solution. Your best bet for survival is to move quietly and hide under tables whenever a threat is near. However, no matter how cautious you think you're being, there is a very high probability that something will eventually catch you off guard. If you're wondering whether this is a family-friendly fright fest, the news is mostly positive regarding the dialogue. There isn't much foul language to worry about, but the scares themselves are quite potent. The primary concerns for younger viewers are the unsettling design of the monsters and the surprisingly gruesome death animations that trigger when you're caught. Most of your time is spent in high-tension silence, creeping through hallways with the sense that something's following you. If the kids enjoy a good scare and thick atmosphere, this game will definitely provide a memorable night of horror. If you have any questions about the game or my review, please let me know in the comments, or like and subscribe for more reviews in the future. Now, let's see if this mission was worth the trip. I went into this experience expecting a unique retro future vibe, and I have to say, the game delivered on the 80s aesthetic perfectly. However, that style came with a heavy price. The developers used a fuzzy lens effect that made navigation a total nightmare, and I spent the first few hours squinting at the screen just to understand what I was looking at. I eventually adjusted to the visual filter, but it never felt comfortable. I also struggled with the lack of guidance when searching for key items. Unlike other games, no items in this one shine, glint, or glow. I had to center my camera perfectly on an object to see the interaction icon. I spent way too much time running in circles because I missed a tiny item or a sticky note on a terminal. It really forced me to slow down and look at everything closely. The puzzles were a mixed bag. I loved that the codes were randomized, which kept me from cheating, but some of the logic felt incredibly convoluted. I often felt like I was being buried under too much information, which led me to brute force my way through certain sections just to move on. The constant threat of monsters attacking me while I was trying to solve a puzzle added some great tension though, and it stopped the slower moments from becoming boring. By the time I hit the 8-hour mark and finished the game, I realized I had no idea what the story was actually about. I caught bits of world building regarding the equipment and the body count, but the ending left me with zero solid answers. I've never been a fan of artsy stories that rely heavily on metaphors and odd imagery. Between the story and gameplay, I didn't feel any desire to jump back in for a second playthrough. And now it's time to see where this lunar excursion lands on the ranking scale. The visuals were unique, but I really hated the fuzzy lens effect that made everything hard to see, so I'm giving those a 2. I found the story to be okay at the start, but it became far too convoluted and metaphorical by the end for my taste, earning a 1. The gameplay had some decent puzzles and high tension, but getting lost in the dark and avoiding the same monsters eventually became tiresome, resulting in a 2. The longevity is non-existent here. I felt no urge to play through the game again once I saw the credits roll, so that's a 0. The overall fun was limited. While I enjoyed a few of the jump scares, the rest of the experience felt more like a tedious chore, giving it a 1. Earning routine an average score of 1.2 out of 5. Giving it a spot on my bottom shelf. I didn't enjoy much of my time with this title. While it did manage to make me jump a few times in the final hours, the earlier sections felt dull and uneventful. The story didn't click for me at all, though you might find more meaning in it than I did. But before getting this game, I recommend checking out the other indie horror reviews I've made. Those lists on your left are packed with games that are much more worth your time.